me. So let's just get into it, shall we? So she wants to know, is her husband still in love with her ex? Now, she didn't say her man. She didn't say her significant other. She didn't say her boo. She didn't say her boo thing. She did not say any of that. She said her husband. She wants to know, based on what I'm about to share with you, is her husband in love with his ex? Can I be a little messy? Can I be a little messy, guys? Okay. Hey, Phoebe, I won't share what airline I'm with over social media. You know how dangerous that could be for me. So privately, I don't mind sharing, but not over this. I hope you respect that. I'm not trying to be funny with you whatsoever. Is my husband still in love with his ex? So I'm just gonna be a little messy, just a little bit messy. Okay, just a tad bit. The only time that I would condone the person that is in a relationship still being in love with their ex is if you are a third party that interfered in a long-term committed relationship or a marriage. And if the person whose relationship that you interfered and played a part in dismantling, if they come to the realization that they are still in love with the person that you thought you took for them, then bravo. I hope they still are. But anyway, I digress. I said I was going to be a little messy. It's Saturday night, okay? So anyway, let's get back to the letter what our good sister wrote. Okay, so she says, my husband and I met 4 years ago, and we now have a 2-year-old son. Before me, he was married to Jennifer. My husband never talked about her, neither good nor bad. I found out from my sister-in-law that Jennifer didn't want children, and that it was my husband who broke up with her. They were married for 10 years. We were taking a walk in the park with our son yesterday, and my husband froze in his tracks, and I looked over and recognized Jennifer immediately. She was heavily pregnant. Ooh. She smiled and walked over and said hello. My husband didn't even say hi back and just asked, "What is this?" Pointing to her belly. She hugged her belly and said, "It just happened," but her smile vanished mid-sentence and she looked sheepish and apologetic. Okay. He just looked at her and He just looked at her and she shook my hand and said hi to me and my son. Then she stroked my husband's arm and said she was sorry. It just happened. And he just pulled his arm away. She said sorry again, and he just started walking, leaving me and my son right there. I didn't say anything to her and just walked after him. Okay. When we got home, he looked her up and found her baby daddy. Oh, and I told you this was good. Since yesterday, my husband has been distant and silent, and I caught him crying in the shower this morning. I don't know what to think. I asked him if he wants to talk, but he just shakes his head. Okay. Lord knows when a man starts shaking his head, I don't think that's ever good. I talked to my sister-in-law and she came to visit within an hour, and she had the same look that Jennifer had, a guilty smile. She went into his office and I heard him cry again. Not again. Again? Before she left, she said that my husband loved me and to just give him time. I don't know what to feel. I have this big ass heavy lump in my stomach right now, and I am so confused. Enough is enough. I'm seeing the love. I'm showing it right back, guys. So, hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm sending nurse for kids. Yeah, thank you. So listen, guys, if you just now tuning in, our good sister, okay? By the way, let me just jump ahead. This woman ain't did nothing wrong. Our good sister ain't done nothing wrong. She didn't do any, she ain't instigated shit, okay? This woman married a man, started a family with a man, doing the family thing, Thank you, Nurse for Kids. Doing the family thing, taking a walk in the park with her 2-year-old son and her man, her husband, and the ex happens to be taking a walk in the park on the exact same day that her and her family was taking a stroll in the park. Now, according to our good sister, her husband was married before for 10 years to a woman named Jennifer. Jennifer did not want children with our good sister's now husband. So the husband, that was a deal breaker for him. We all get it, right? We all got deal breakers at some point. There are deal breakers for all of us, and we are said it's a non-negotiable. If this happens, or if you can't do this, we can't progress, we can't move any further, you can't be a part of my life. It's a done deal. We all have them, right? Well, some people do. Not, I guess not everybody. I got some. But anyway, so the husband dumps the first wife because the first wife allegedly didn't want any children. So he has moved on to wife number 2, who is our good sister. She has given him the child that he so desperately wanted with the first wife. You think this man would be happy, right? But oh no, it's just like life and or the enemy to meet you at the point of happiness, or when you think you should be settling into life and enjoying the things, that you should be enjoying the things and the answered prayers of yesterday. The enemy will come and hit you below the belt and make you question, is this what you really want? You said you want this. Now let me see how quickly I can dismantle it or shake it up or make you lose everything that you thought you wanted. This is what happened because the husband remarried to our good sister and he got the child that he wanted. But he runs into his ex-wife who's knocked up by somebody else. And now all of a sudden, this man is having a meltdown. He's crying in the shower to the point that our good sister had to call her sister-in-law. It's always a bad thing when you got to call a third party. Well, I don't care what kind of third party. If I got to call a third party to come and help me with my husband over his mental breakdown behind another woman, that's a problem. So this is what has happened. So since our good sister and her husband ran into his first wife, who's knocked up by somebody else, her husband ain't been the same. She's confused, she's hurt, and she wants to know, is this man of mine, my husband, is he still in love with his ex? Well, let me get to the point. I don't feel comfortable with saying confidently that he's in love with his ex. But I can assure you there's some unresolved feelings there. Something has triggered this man to the point of acting indifferent with you. You know, I had a letter, guys, back in the fall. If some of you remember it, maybe not. But let me take you to this letter. And that's why I paused when I said it's never a good thing when a man starts breaking down like that and crying and isolating himself and he got to go in the bathroom and cry. I don't think that's a good thing. I had another letter where a wife wrote in, right? And her husband and her were minding their own business. Well, she was minding her own business. They went to her parents' house. Thank you, baby. I see you, Lady Hype. So in a previous letter back in the fall, I did it, right? Live show just like this. The wife and the husband, the wife is our good sister. The wife and the husband went to her parents' house for dinner, right? They were all sitting around the table enjoying a meal as families should do. They were fellowshipping with one another. Imagine that. You and your husband going about things. Your parents invite you over for dinner. Everybody in the family is there. Picture like a soul food, the movie Soul Food, like a scene like that. You got some good food on the table. Everybody's happy to see one another. Everybody's kikiing and cacaing. We got drinks flowing over here. We got mama's favorite dish over there. You happy it's midweek. It's a great icebreaker for a Wednesday, whatever day of the week it was. And all of a sudden, the wife that wrote in, her sister stood up at the table, made an announcement that she was pregnant. Everybody around the table starts congratulating the sister, right? Even our good sister, who's the wife that wrote in. But oddly enough, our good sister's husband, who was sitting right beside her, went into a trance. He didn't get up. He was the only one noticeable to everybody that didn't get up and hug his sister-in-law about her announcement of having a baby. Well, he was acting so damn weird and out of place that our good sister had to take him home because something wasn't right about him after her sister made the announcement that she was pregnant. Well, it gets worse. When they got home, he took his black behind or white behind or whatever kind of behind he got. But it feels good seeing his black behind. He took his behind in the bathroom and started crying, just like this husband did right here. So I was like, it's never a good thing when your man got to go in the bathroom and cry. This is not funny. But I'm just saying, they always can do dirt. People can do dirt. Was you crying when you was busting it up in her? Okay. So it's never a good thing when your man has to isolate himself and cry. So getting back to the letter. Is he still in love with his ex? I would say something's still there. The fact that she felt the need to apologize to him right there on the spot tells me that she feels guilty. I want to walk through this slowly with you. Can I slow walk it a little bit? Imagine being so in love with a woman that you want to share your life with her. You want to procreate with her. You're with this woman for years, right? And the one thing that you want with this woman, she's not willing to give you. So in an effort to get what you want, you move on to the next, thinking that this one thing that she, the first wife, wouldn't give you, the one thing you wanted her to give you that she wouldn't, you're going to go out and get it with the next. And you're going to live happily ever after. I'm imagining this is what this husband did. So he goes off and he remarries our good sister. Our good sister has no problem starting a family with this man. You would think that this man would be happy, right? A brand new wife, a brand new life. They have a son. His first child, she gave him a son, okay? A son. I thought that was very important to men. Well, he walks up on his ex-wife. Thank you, Ice Cold Ray. He walks up on his first wife. Man damn near done lose his mind. So I'm questioning, guys. Did you really want a kid just to have a kid? Or did you just want a kid with her? And now that you see that she's open to having children, you're pissed off. Thank you, Nurse for Kids. You're pissed off. Why? If I'm what you want and the child that we have together should be enough for you, why is the fact that your ex-wife being knocked up got you losing your mind? That would bother me too. And I'm going to say any woman in your shoes will be bothered by that. I've given you what you said you wanted. I've given you the one thing that woman wouldn't give you, and that still ain't good enough. I'm saying there's something there. And let me tell you how else I look at it. You know, this is just my opinion. Even if it's something, right? Even if it's something that is bothering him. Let's just say it is legitimately bothering him. Let's just say all of the feelings that he thought were gone or he was over in the moment that he saw her, things were triggered, right? Let's just be fair. Things have come to the surface, and sometimes you don't know that you are not healed until something happens to re-expose that wound again, opens it back up. So let's just say that happened, right? It signifies to me that he is not willing to be vulnerable to you or to share those emotions and feelings that he's processing. Why is he isolating himself when he should be sharing what he's going through with you? Why in the hell is it okay for him to share this information about how he's feeling about her being pregnant by another man with his sister? Shouldn't the two of you have that type of open line of communication where he's able to communicate with you? I thought I was okay with where I left her in that situation, but seeing her pregnant now makes me rethink where we could have been, or whatever he could have said to you, but he don't have the right to make you feel the way that you're feeling and got you wondering what's going on. That man has not been truthful with you about everything regarding that woman. And I think you mentioned in the letter how he's been really tight-lipped about Jennifer in their relationship. You say he's spoken very little about her. See, that's why I always say, guys, we have to do, and I say we because I'm a person too, okay? You can be married today and not tomorrow. So I'm always very, 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 very clear that I will include myself sometimes. I'm not exempt. I'm not one of those married women that think I'm above everybody and nothing can happen to me. So I say we. Again, we have to be very, very diligent in making sure we're checking all the boxes as best we can and trying to find out if the person that we intend on being with or we're in a relationship with or opening ourselves up to, are they still, in love with the person that they were with before you or whatever. This is a case of being blindsided by a situation that she thought was not a threat to her. This is a threat to her. This is a threat to her and her marriage. This is what I think. Yeah, right. I see that's a problem. Yep, he loves that woman. I didn't want to say it, guys. I mean, what else will make him break down like that, right? What else will make him break down like that? I don't know how I would take it, because the way my mind is set up, right? Let's just say it's happening to me. It's not. I ain't got no 2-year-old, first of all, right? So let's just say this is. I'm gonna be the wife in this situation. So let me role play and act like I'm that wife. So her being pregnant has triggered you to the point that, number one, you were rude and you left me standing there with your ex, okay? Not only did you not say goodbye, not only did you ask me and tell me and your son, let's go, okay? But you left me standing there with Jennifer. And then on top of that, when we got home, you went and looked this woman up online to find out who was the father of her child. How in the hell is that your business? Why are you making it your business? Why do you want to know? What does that have to do with you? What are you seeking to gain? What is your end goal? Because you're going through a lot to find out information about a woman who you left because she wasn't willing to start a family with you. And here I am. I've given you your first child and your son, but yet you are sitting here acting a damn fool and wanting to know who's her child's father? Negro, it ain't you. That's the way I would be looking at it. I'd be hotter than fish grease. There's a lot of things that, couples have to contend with, but you acting up behind this woman and showing me that there's some emotion there and you can't talk to me about it, and you isolate, you crying. Is it ever a good thing when a man start crying behind a woman like this? Would you put up with it? I'm gonna look in the comments for this one, because this is a mess. That happens when you don't let people heal before being with you. That was a word. That's a word right there. That is a word. This happens when you don't let people heal before being with you. You know what? Beautiful Hearts 2023. That's why I say you got to do your due diligence. You got to do your homework on people. You cannot rush sometimes getting into these relationships or accept silence sometimes. I totally get, you probably don't know. I'm so anal when it comes to me and my life, and I'm very particular about what I share. If I say it intentionally and if I repeat it, it's something I don't mind people knowing. But I'm just one of those people. I'm just not gonna open up. I'm not an open book. So I get, sometimes I said that to say, I get why people don't like or not so forthcoming about everything regarding their past. You have to take your time sometimes in an effort to allow people get to a level of being comfortable with you to share. Even if they don't think they're sharing something, sometimes you got to be intelligent enough to understand or to put certain pieces together to make a wise choice. Do I really want to move forward with this person? I mean, she just got out of a relationship 2 weeks ago. Is it really wise? She said he just got out of a situation 3 months ago. Is it really, a smart move for me to be moving this fast with this individual? Just things like that. But this man, this is what I'm thinking. And I'm going to read the comments. I want to know. Thank you, Ray Lopez. I want to know if you guys think this. Listen. So now that the husband of our good sister, right, Now that this man he's laid eyes on the woman who was his first choice, his first wife. I don't mean to be cruel. Now that he sees that she's open to having children, has that repositioned his heart towards her? Is that a fair question? Has this man repositioned his heart towards his first wife, seeing her in a family way? Because obviously he's come undone, right? Because that was the reason that he left her. He left that first wife because she was adamant she didn't want children. And oh, wait a minute, I just had a thought. Hold on. I just had a thought. Hold on. Try to pull one over on Diva. Wait a minute. Okay, guys. Our good sis says, wait a minute. She says, he looked at her and she shook my hand and said hi to me and our son. Okay. Then she stroked my husband's arm and she said she was sorry. It just happened. I just solved it. I need a check. Thank you. I'm seeing the gifts. Thank you. I'm sending you love and positive energy your way. Guys, wait a minute. This is what our good sis need to... Listen to me. Don't hang up on me yet. This is what our good sister needs to tell this man. You walk up on the woman that you was married to for 10 years. You walked away from that woman because that woman did not want to have a family with you. She's pregnant now. And she tells you it just happened. So you mean to tell me she didn't love you enough to plan a family with you, but she can let the next man come behind you and it can just happen? She can get knocked up, busted all wide open, let him do whatever he wants to do in her body and just happen to end up pregnant? But she didn't even think enough of you to plan a family with you. So while she didn't think enough of you to preserve the marriage and build a family with you, she let the next one behind you do whatever he wanted to in her body, and she just happened to be pregnant. But me planning a family with you wasn't good enough. We planned this baby. This is the baby, the son that you wanted. That's not good enough. But that would show you how little she thought of you. The next one got to do whatever he wanted with her body, and it just happened. Those were the words of the first wife, Jennifer. So you are about to lose your family and jeopardize your family. Hold on, let me slow walk this one. You are about to lose your family behind a woman that didn't want a family with you. That's what you need to tell your man. You are about to lose your family behind a woman that didn't want a family with you. But here she is starting a family with the one that came right behind you. You sitting up crying in a corner in a bathroom, shut all up, got me feeling some type of way because your ex done showed up pregnant by another man? Her getting pregnant by another man has triggered you to the point that you got me having to call people over here to help me with you? Have you lost your mind? Sis, I would say this, and I'm going to wrap this up because y'all know I'm a talker. I always say pray about everything. I'm always say that. I'm never one to support walking away from marriages. Y'all know I'm not about that life. I don't condone foolishness, and I do understand there are some situations and circumstances that warrant you saying, I surrender, I just can't do it anymore. I understand that. But outside of all of that, my whole platform is about the preservation of families, marriages, and relationships. I'm that girl. I've always been that girl people come to when they just want some hope and looking for the silver lining on how they should hold on or looking for a reason to hold on. I've always been that girl. Really, I've always been that person. I'm just going to say this, because sis, the question was, as I end this show, the question was, is my husband still in love with his ex? And myself and a few other people have sounded off. My question to you is, what are you prepared to do if he is? What are you prepared to do if your husband is indeed still in love with his ex? That is what I think you should be preparing for. I think so. I really do. What are you prepared to do if he is still in love with his ex? Does that change anything for you? How do you move forward if he is? The next question that I would pose is you need to find out if he is indeed still in love with his ex, or there are some indeed strong emotions. Because I'm trying to be really realistic about this. I don't believe in sugarcoating or shooting the shit with you about your marriage. But if he admits to you, if your man admits to you that there are some strong emotions there that he didn't realize or they resurfaced once he saw her, you need to ask him, what is he prepared to do? Is it not a fair question? Is it not a fair question? What are you prepared to do? Now that you can acknowledge that there are still some feelings there that you have for your ex, is there anything you want to do? How do we move forward in our marriage? I think these are real questions that any real woman that loves her husband and anybody that values their covenant would ask and will want to know. There's no shame in that. You have every right to know. And he has, I think he has a responsibility to be honest, not only to you, but to himself. If he is indeed in love with her, or he now realizes that, you know what, I didn't know I felt like that until I saw her, so I'm struggling with it. This is something that the two of you need to really be open and transparent in your conversations, and you really need to talk this through. Just because emotions are there does not mean he has to act on them. It's like temptation, right? Right? I've said before that temptation in and of itself is not the sin. It's the acting on the temptation that gets people into trouble and destroys marriages and relationships and lives, It's the acting on it. So him having the feelings is one thing. Him wanting to act on those feelings and move forward with those feelings could be an issue for you. And you definitely don't want to have that man put you in a position to be competing for his affection, or wanting to, as the kids say, spin the block with that ex because now she's receptive to having children. And, I just feel like that sometimes, she still may be standing firm on a position. She don't want kids with him. And I really hope that is the case for you, because I don't want no woman to ever be brokenhearted behind a man that you are truly indeed in love with. You've started your life, your family, you got children together, and something like this happened. This is awful. I can only imagine the amount of pain that you are in, breeding insecurity and feeling unstable right now in your own home, in your own marriage, because something as innocent as taking a stroll in the park with your child the day ended with you going home and him breaking down emotionally and crying behind this woman. Pray about it, sis. Watch who you share your business with, because everybody is not always for you. And even if they are, the advice that they give you is not always beneficial to the ending that you may desire or God's will for your life. Be very, very careful with who you share your business with and who you allow to speak to you or pour into you, okay? But definitely ask yourself, what am I prepared to do if this man that I'm married to and I've started a family with admits to me that he really is still in love with Jennifer, his first wife? What am I prepared to do? What am I prepared to do if he says, I haven't thought it through just yet? Are you prepared to sit and wait on him to make a decision? Are there some things that you can be proactive about? I'm sure, but I don't have the answer to that. I just want you to know that any woman would feel the way that you're feeling. And I just want you to know that it is very unfair of him not to be, speaking with you right now and not to really be reassuring you, that he's committed to the marriage that he's in with you right now, regardless as to what has happened. Anybody can have a meltdown or, feel some type of way, if they're blindsided by a situation that they were, really invested in years ago. We can all understand, having to take a step back and process something. But the way he's handling this is all wrong. Whatever you do, don't rock the foundation of the relationship that you're already in when you left the one that you're crying about. Make it make sense. But anyway, guys, so let me see if anybody says something. Hold on before I leave, you guys. I'm in love with you. Just listen. Oh, Stephen Smith, you gonna get into trouble. I am in love with you. Just listening to you, Queen. Oh, King, thank you, baby. It needs to be more people out there like us. I spread love every day. I spread love. You can see me if you catch me in Charlotte, because that's where I live, or if I'm at home in Dallas, Texas. I stay in Dallas a lot. I'm going to get in trouble out there one day. But not that kind of trouble. I'm just saying, sometimes I forget it's not the 90s. Okay? But anyway, I'm like this all the time. I show love. I'm positive. I'm a warm person. And, I love people that love people and just really just have a positive energy and vibe. If you're like that, you're my type of people, You're my type of people. I love grown and sexy people. I love grown and sexy people that got something to say, even if we don't agree, Let's disagree. Hell, show me something, talk to me, give me a different perspective, but we can be respectful about it. You understand what I'm saying? A good debate ain't never hurt nobody. A good debate ain't never hurt nobody. Sharing with me how you think of something. I may not agree with you in the moment, but at some point I may replay the conversation and say, you know what, that was a valid point. Okay, don't shoot me. I'm just saying. Like with the Kevin Samuel situation, I didn't agree with everything that brother had to say, but I can definitely, I stand my ground on saying this. He always offered an alternative perspective to my thinking. He challenged the way that I thought about different things. I may not have agreed, but at least I had an alternative perspective. And then when I entered into conversations about whatever topic that he talked about with my personal circle, then you know what? It expanded my conversation. It made me look more well-rounded because I was open and receptive to somebody else's point of view, even if I didn't agree. So yeah, I'm always up for a good debate. I will. I hope you guys were entertained. This is what I do, Don't forget, if you don't know, I do have a televised show. You can find the DivaSpeaks Relationships televised. Let me toot my horn. Toot, beep, beep. My show comes on television. You can find me on my own Roku channel, the DivaSpeaks Relationships Roku channel. You can find me on Amazon. You can find me on Apple TV. Okay, I'm on Apple TV. You got that little bitty box. You got the box. You got the box and you can watch me, baby. I'm on Spectrum Cable, AT&T Uverse, satellite TV, all that kind of good stuff. But you can find most of that information on most of my social media pages. I don't want to get into all of that right now because then I have to pull out my phone. I have to read this long list. But I am on television. Again, I have my own Roku channel. I do have my own Amazon channel. I am on Spectrum Cable. I think I'm on 4 different channels out here in the Carolinas. That's why I'm stuck in Charlotte, because I got this contract with the television station. Okay. I ain't giving up my show just yet. But anyway, yeah, so I'm like on, I think, 4 to 6 different channels in the Carolinas. Depending on where you are in the Carolinas is where the show airs. And that kind of works for AT&T U versus, it's depending on where you're located, then it airs on a different channel. But for me and the people that are local to Charlotte, I always say channel 99. I think I'm on TDS TV. I'm on Access 21. I'm on video on demand over there at Access 21. You can live stream my show from the television station's website, which is tvaccess21.com. And again, I have my own Roku channel, the DivaSpeaks Relationships Roku channel. So if you have a Roku device, feel free to add the DivaSpeaks Relationships Roku channel. I do a lot of old throwback feel good content. Like when I'm on the ground and I can, I gotta hire somebody, by the way. I gotta really hire somebody because it's getting to be a little bit too much for me with me being a flight attendant. But I need to hire somebody to do my programming for me because sometimes I forget to change the programming. But I used to have like Throwback Thursdays and Flashback Fridays, with the 90s music. I'm still stuck in the 90s. I love 90s, like 60s, 70s, like Motown, 90s music. A lot of the music videos that we would, bump into back in the day, I play that on my channel, on my Roku channel. You turn into my Roku channel on a Thursday or a Friday, I will have Throwback Thursdays. Thank you, Marvin J. Throwback Thursdays and Feel Good Fridays, Flashback Fridays. I have all of that, In Vogue and let me see, In Vogue. Hold on, Teddy Pendergrass. Oh Jesus, help me remember who I have on my channel. Oh God. Heavy D and the Boys. Mary J. Blige. Oh my God, Bobby Brown, New Edition. I'm just those are some of the music videos that I play. Soul Train. Okay, now I'm thinking. Okay, a lot of Soul Train episodes of different worlds. Showtime at the Apollo. So if you like stuff like that, I have stuff like that on my Roku channel. So just yeah. That's the kind of stuff I play with. Make you feel good. I want to make you feel good in a legit kind of way. Okay. So thank you for that. So guys, you have, hold on. I must read one more comment before I go. Stephen, okay. Yes. Oh, I do have Smokey Robinson. Matter of fact, Stephen, I have in my house, like about maybe it was about 2015. I went to like a Salvation Army store and I bought this old time record player, like the record player that our moms used to have back in the 70s. They used to, what they call them, a console. It's got the record player, with the needle. You put the record on the needle on the record, right? I have one of those, and to the side in that box it has a radio with an FM and an AM dial. I have one of those, right? And one of the records that I have, I got an old time Smokey Robinson album. I got Motown Greatest Hits. I got Prince. I think I got Prince's The Purple Rain album. I got Diana Ross. I mean the actual records, the vinyl records and everything. So singer for really for Motown. Yeah, I play that around the house, when I don't know. I'm just that type of girl. I love me some Phyllis Hyman, some Motown, some Stephanie Mills, Shaka Khan, and I try to reflect that in my content. So yeah, Stephen, it was nice chatting with you. So I'm about to go down to the hotel's workout room and do a little something for myself. Got to keep it all together, And I'm sending you all love and positive vibes, and you guys be good to each other, and don't let nobody bring you down. Don't forget, check out my television show. It airs every second and fourth Friday of the month at 11 p.m. on Spectrum Cable, AT&T Uverse, and Apple TV. You can find the DivaSpeaks Relationships Talk Show. Again, the televised talk show. You can also find me on Facebook under my legal government name, which is Angela Vasi Patareal. Or you can follow me on my, I have 3 Facebook pages, Fashion and Finance Inc., Angela Vasi Patareal, and Diva Speaks Relationships. Feel free to follow me over there. Yeah, so I hope you check out my television shows and my television channels or whatever. And I pray God's best over all of you, okay? Good night, guys.